Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it's the Hump Day Happy Hour Salute. And today we enjoyed Fireball. And this is going to be a long show, my friends. That's all I'm going to say. Take it away, Mr. Magazine.
I'm going to start by saying don't do shots when you're fasting and only drinking water for 24 hours.
Should you be fasting? I've heard some people don't think that's good. Go ahead. Next.
They're dumb quitters. All right, next up. First up. Fossil Triple F is in the house. How you doing? Dawn's always in the house.
Hey-o!
Yeah, she is here nice and early.
Absolutely. There you go.
I won't be eating dinner probably till Saturday. I'm trying to do a 3-day water fast. Just drink water, no solids, but we'll see what happens.
And shots.
And shots, of course.
There you go. Everyone, thank you for being a member. Dawn, thank you for being a member. Super Season Lights, thank you for being a member. Triple F.
There's like 3 people in this thread here.
That's fine.
Sales are pretty dismal. Okay. Let's see
it happens.
We got going on. What else?
I haven't been listening, so I haven't been selling. Worried about upcoming postal strike. Yeah, that's happening up in Canada again.
Canada? Okay.
Yep.
I don't want to sound like selfish, but I'm glad it's not happening down here.
Yeah, hopefully it don't happen anywhere, but yes, absolutely.
Flipping moves
this
in the
week,
house.
I was traumatized when I found a Mummenschanz program in the bottom of a box of playbills. I don't know what Mummenschanz is, so I would be traumatized as well.
All right.
Traumatized, I don't know that word. Neither does Dawn.
And neither do I.
There you go.
Surprise. Dandy Dave's in the house. How's it going?
Thank you for being a member.
All right. Awesome. Adrian's in the house. How are you doing?
Thank you for being a member.
Jazzy Jeff's always here.
Hello, Jeff.
We got R-rated Jeff, PG-13. What do we got tonight?
No, not Jeff. You're thinking of Eric.
Oh, God. Give me another shot. I'm already done.
Oh, Schmidt Auctions. Welcome in. Welcome in.
Well, Jeff could be like that, too.
Hold on. I'm going to do from memory because Schmidt. Go back to Schmidt real quick.
I'm
right over here. Oh, my God. And your
Holy
phone
cow.
is going off. I don't know what is going on over here.
Jesus.
People know we have a
It's
show.
my son, but he'll have to wait an hour.
I'm going to give a bonus Cornfucius today because Schmidt missed it today. So from memory, friend, my uncle just got a cedar chest. Cornfucius. Wow. Last time I saw him, he only had a wooden leg.
Why did we have to hear it now? Couldn't you just do 2 back to back? Now I gotta wait.
Memory.
Now I gotta wait 15 minutes to hear another one.
Memory.
Oh, God, I'm doing another shot.
That was from memory.
Can I go leave and do another shot?
Aren't you impressed?
I want to. I have nothing all day. I deserve another shot.
Okay. Aren't you impressed?
I go take over. I'm doing another shot.
Aren't you impressed that was from memory?
I'm caught on the chair.
Oh my God.
Great.
And hello, Michael. Thank you for being a member. And Mr. Magazine is having another shot because we're not too far off the rails yet. All right, we're going to get started over here. How are sales with him gone? I know Triple F had said that his sales are absolutely terrible. Don't be too impressed, Adrian. That's brain cells that I wasn't able to use elsewhere. So
okay, this is proof that I'm doing a shot. Auction professor won't like this, but here you go.
That is true. There you go. Oh boy.
All right, I'm ready.
How are sales, Mr. Magazine?
You probably never heard this. How long we've been here? 3 years doing this?
That is true.
What I'm about to say, I don't think I've ever said it in 3 years.
Okay.
eBay's been really, really good.
Wow.
Thanks to the whole New Jersey, Pennsylvania deal. But we're up like 30% every day.
Wow.
And Amazon sucks.
No.
Amazon is doing horrible right now. We're down probably 30% on Amazon.
Now, let me ask a question. I have a theory as to one of the reasons why my Amazon is down some.
Okay.
Is it because so many Marvel items have been ended?
That is a possibility for some. Well, it's funny you say that because our comic sales are definitely down. We've ended some because of whatnot, but still, we're selling 10 plus a day. Now we're doing 2 to 3 days. That's crap. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, because I've seen my sales drop as well, and I'm thinking we had a violation of a Batman figure, and it wasn't Batman. It was just like some other character, like I don't even know his name. It was like $5, and they ended a $5 figure because it said DC Comics in it. So okay, yep,
yeah, it's not going to get good.
No, it's not good. No,
I'm definitely looking into it again thoroughly. I'm having my one IT guy look into a repricer. I think we really need it because we were selling 70, 80, 90, 100 items a day. Now we're doing 50 to 60 if we're lucky. So, and we have 300,000 listings, so it's kind of crazy.
No, then again, if you're losing 10 a day because of Marvel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Had a decent weekend, very good Monday. Otherwise, just so. All in all, I won't complain. There you go.
All right. Andy Donald, how you doing?
And there's via the portal recording. Guy walking around.
Oh, I should name my apartment above the shop that.
There you go.
Don't tell my wife.
Triple
J, where have you been?
That is a good question.
You came to a good day. 2 shots in. You never know what you're going to get out of me. So we will see.
Extremely slow this week, taking a short whatnot break until June.
Okay.
And then lovely Linda came in as well.
She's very lovely. How you doing?
My sales have been good everywhere until today. Today is brutal. I think I've gotten paid for 3 items on eBay, only sold 2. Sold like 1 item on Amazon. Been absolutely brutal today. But had a few really good days in a row. I'm expecting it's going to be kind of bad this weekend with me going away because I won't be sending offers to watchers out. So it came a day early. The problem came a day
Mother's
early.
Day part of factoring in on that. You think
I did well on Sunday. Yeah.
It was just good today. On eBay, Amazon. No, I did not.
Just today has been horrible, but otherwise been good.
Yeah.
Promoted were 17 out of 51. So only a third promoted. So that is a lot less than usual on the promoted. Offers report 155 out of 327, 345 last week. So half of the items were old items people were doing. 345 last week, so about the same. 204 a year ago, 113 2 years ago. So we definitely are getting a lot more people watching stuff nowadays. 1 item on million.dollar.peddlers, 1 on Vivs-Views, 1 on papergoy.com, 1 on Biblio, and 8 on Etsy. So Etsy had been pretty good, and then it died today as well, along with everything else. So you kind of wonder why everything dies in one day.
Getting back to the whole Amazon thing with Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and I've said this before, how come eBay never has this issue with those companies, but Amazon does?
I guess the official explanation is Amazon wants to make sure that the buyers have a positive experience and that they're getting the real items. And so
they feel like they're buying from Amazon, even though they're buying from you and me. So they want to make sure it's all legit and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess, but man, you're talking about killing, a third of your.
Yeah. A lot of items. Yeah. I'm down under 20,000 items listed on
Disney, Playboy, they do that with now. DC, Marvel, Star Wars, I'm sure. It's crazy.
Lego.
Yeah.
Yep. Lionel.
Lego my ego.
They just started doing Lionel. Hallmark, they just started doing.
Jesus, crazy.
No sales for Linda.
And real quick, hold on. Sorry to interrupt you, but I guess it's good for eBay because if you're me and I list on both channels, I have to sell it somewhere. So I'm either selling on Whatnot or I'm selling on eBay, depending on what it is and the price of it. So crazy.
Makes me wonder if everybody's having a bad day today. You tend to wonder too is could eBay be having problems on their site? You wonder that as well. How about buys? Anybody buying anything out there? I know you went on a buy today, Mr. Magazine.
I did go on a buy, yes. It was a local customer from years ago that had NASCAR, hockey, this and that and the other thing, and some autograph stuff. I went there and it was all like unsigned things like, Wheaties boxes, things I didn't really want, and a couple of things that she had that were okay. She wanted crazy money for it. So she did have a Hall of Fame football helmet signed by like 20 guys, but I'm scared to price it out because I know it's not going to be more than $300-400, and she probably wants like $1,000 for it,
Right.
And she's moving, so she wants to sell it, but we'll see what happens. But other than that, I'm not buying much. Aaron and I are buying DVDs all over the country. It seems to be. He's got 3 or 4 deals in Florida. He's going to in the next couple of weeks. I got another deal, guys. 15,000 DVDs he's shipping to me, like so many thousand every week. Other than that, I'm trying to save some money. Yeah. How about you?
I'm glad you asked. First, we're going to say hi to Steven.
Steven. Super Steven. How you doing?
You usually bring that up on the screen.
Oh, God, please. You're so technical.
So I went to Avon on Mother's Day. The place was actually a swamp. So I usually park in the back.
So it wasn't swamped. It was a swamp.
It was a swamp.
Just to clarify.
I just kind of went down for something to do, and I didn't know how many dealers there would be. 3,000 postcards and a box of Playbills. There you go. I didn't know how many dealers there would be there. I'm like, it's Mother's Day. I'll just go down. Actually, a fair number of dealers. But I usually, have you ever been down to Avon? Yeah, you have.
I have, yeah.
And the back is all the gravel and all that.
Okay, yeah.
And I wanted to park back there because it looks wet
and everything, but I couldn't because there's one one path that leads back there that you can drive on.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't get through there because there was a tow truck there hauling somebody out of the grass that had gotten stuck. And I'm like, oh boy. Man. So then I'm like, I'm going to pull into the grass right over here because I'm not going to try cutting around that tow truck in the swamp because then I will have to get pulled out as well.
Yeah.
So I just kind of made the turn into the grass and went as far up to the edge as I could, figuring if I keep going right to the edge, and then I'm thinking to myself, worst case scenario, if I get stuck, somebody here has a box or carpeting or something I can stick underneath the wheels. I'll be able to get out because I'm real close to the edge. Didn't have any problem, but a whole bunch of the sites were swamped out. I ended up spending $49. So really wasn't worth going, but, fun to do. I went with local Mike over to the world's greatest yard sale.
Wow.
Friday and Saturday over in...
Can he prove that?
Well, I can prove that it wasn't because I've been to a lot of yard sales, and this was not the world's greatest one. It was over at Hamburg Fairgrounds, East Aurora, New York. Went over there with him. Great time talking with him and everything. And ended up spending $60 off of 2 dealers. Now, if I do that next year, I'm going to go on Saturday because this was the Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And last time I went about 7-8 years ago, there were a whole bunch of people outside, but I went on a Saturday.
Okay.
So I think the mom and pop people come on a Saturday, and Friday is a few dealers, but then, you need gutter guards for your house. Those kind of people are set up.
I actually do need them.
Oh, there you go. You should have went to that sale with me.
You just buy them for me.
There you go. A distillery, a guy selling jerky, a guy selling cheese. Those kind of people were set up.
Kettle corn. Let me guess. Kettle corn.
That was outside. It was actually smelled so good when you went in, but I did not buy it. So I ended up spending $60, but it was a fun day with local
Linda
Mike.
Says she's being very picky on buys right now. I agree. I am as well.
I was supposed to get free books today. I contacted the dealer this morning, said, are we still on? Yep. And about 3 hours later, he texted, I won't be able to do it today. Something came up. And I'm like, yes, because I'm going out of town and I didn't really want to have to figure out how to unload the vehicle in between. Sales been great this week. Had someone make 2 large orders, so it helped.
Nice.
I shouldn't be buying, but I am. And then a subscriber actually reached out to me and said, I'm going to be sending you a flat rate box of ephemera. When you get it, send me what you think's fair.
Nice.
So
can't argue with that.
Can't argue with that. So it should be a lot of fun on that as well. Love going through the ephemera. And I know he's got more. So that. Oh, and I did go Monday. I went out to a guy that sets up at the flea market. I brought some stuff, a larger size stuff that I wasn't going to be selling, and ended up picking him for a whole bunch of postcards, photos, all that kind of stuff. Nothing great, but some good stuff. And it's all basically, I've got a whole bunch of nice whatnot auctions set up out of it. So do check that out as well. Nice postcards and photos over there. Glitch of the week. Monday morning, eBay photos just were taking forever to load. I know that the other day, I forget which day it was, the eBay standard envelope was down for a few hours. You couldn't use eBay standard envelope. So some people were sending things out with regular ground advantage because they didn't want to get dinged for it being late being sent out.
That's a big loss.
That's a huge loss.
Something like a $7 item.
Yeah, if you have it set up that you're going to be sending it out for 70 cents or whatever it is, and now you have to pay $3 or $4.
Crazy.
A lot of people had this problem. I don't know. Did you get it when you were doing relisting into the store?
What's that?
That 1 or 2 items couldn't get relisted because of a category error?
I don't think so.
Oh, a lot of people I saw over in a couple of groups that I was in were having the problem, and it actually happened to me. I went the next morning and same item was sitting there unlisted and it listed no problem whatsoever. So that was just another eBay glitch.
I did have violations when we get to it with eBay and the adult stuff. I don't know if I told you that or not, but it's crazy what they told us. But go ahead.
All right. And we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. And then the offers change. Did you notice that they clicked on automatically send offers on the items? You have to click it back off.
Oh, geez.
Yep. They did it like 3 or 4 times the one day because I kept clicking it off. And the next time I went back, it was clicked back on. And the next time I went back, it was clicked back on. So do check that if you do not want eBay to automatically send offers. I don't do so because I don't trust them to actually do what they tell us they're going to do.
Crazy.
So I'm set up that way where I would rather manually do it.
Right.
Because I don't trust they're going to do it. And then when I was trying to accept an offer, I got an error that there was an issue processing my request, but then it sold anyway. It accepted it, but it told me that it didn't. And then it turned out that it did accept it. So eBay has 5 glitches this past week. Wow, so I'm not sure what they're doing, but I had been having sales until today. So yes, he came back 8 p.m. able to ship things before bed. So yeah, so there was somebody that was affected by that problem.
Jackie Jack, how's it going?
And Jackie Jack, do you have your auction tonight? I believe that you do. 8:30, I believe. Site changes. I don't know if anybody out there sells on Etsy and lists on Etsy. They changed the way the photos load. Can you crop your pictures anymore? I didn't see that option to crop the pictures. So they did change the way the photos all look on there. Item of the week. This came from a couple of weeks ago at a estate sale. And I don't know if you've ever seen these or not. Unfortunately, the person running the estate sale said they kept one for themselves. They kept the Yogi Bear for themselves. Have you ever seen these before, Mr. Magazine?
It kind of looks familiar, but did they have smaller versions? Like
may have, yeah. Wonderful World of Ducks, Walt Disney.
Pretty cool.
And Huckleberry Hound. And these are actually comic books inside.
Wow.
These go for about $50 to $60 a piece if you find them. Again, definitely you can remember these, and most people don't know that they're comic books.
It's a golden book. It says, Golden Picture
Golden
Stories.
Picture Stories, yep. Cool. And there also is a Yogi Bear, which unfortunately, like I said, the person bought for themselves, or else I would have been buying this. I think they wanted $5 a piece on these.
Nice.
I've seen them enough to know, hey, these are pretty good. Yep. So this is ST4, ST1. So there's obviously 2 more
Yogi Bears. Are those listed in Overstreet?
They are indeed in
Overstreet.
Obviously
Keeping them.
I am keeping them. So very cool. If you do happen to see these out there, pick them up. And again, they're large, oversized ones as well. So very cool comic books right over there that a lot of people don't know are comic books. Insulting offer of the week. I had a dirt bike magazine, $32. Guy offered me $5 on it. Now, given that I've sold many of them at $25 a piece, I think I counted them at 25, and I think I said to him, "Oh, silly goose, you forgot the 2 before the 5. I know these things happen." Never heard back from him whatsoever. Huckleberry Hound, indeed. Never heard back from him. Mr. Magazine has the Roger Federer 2006 Ace Patch out of 500. $68, $15 offer. Army, Navy, Union, National Encampment Program, 1957. I have it listed for $22.20 free shipping. Guy offered $5. Now, how many of them can there possibly be out there from 1957 for the program?
And with free shipping.
With free shipping. I think it's from Youngstown, Ohio. There are none out there, and I would lose money. Mr. Magazine had a Gretzky O-Pee-Chee rookie, $750. Somebody offered him $400. It actually ended up selling. I won't tell you how much. You'll have to tune into the Bolo video we just shot tonight. But I did ask Mr. Magazine if you were allowed to sell those on there, and he said, yes, you can now. Used to not be able to sell those unless they were graded, but you can now, but it's because eBay authenticates the items is what Mr. Magazine feels. And then I have a rare Kodak brochure. And how do I know it's rare? Because we live in Kodak country and I've only ever seen this one.
Okay.
I was asking $32.22 free shipping. Guy offered $10 on it, which if you break down the numbers with what I paid for it, what my costs are, cost of postage, yada, yada, yada. If I sell that, I'm actually making less than minimum wage in New York State. So I contacted him back. I said, I need 25 out of it. It's rare. I go, it's a rare brochure. I said, I live in Kodak country. There you go.
Yeah.
I said, I live in Kodak country and I've never seen this before. He comes back at $12. I said to him, I'm not taking your $12. I don't play I now offer 22. You offer 13. I offer 20. I go, make your best offer and I'll accept or deny it. Haven't heard from him since then.
Good.
Because again, we're going to get to $18 anyway.
Right.
So just offer me 18. Countdown to Brimfield. Local Mike is actually not going to Brimfield. Isn't going to be able to make it this year, but maybe or this time, but maybe we'll be able to go together in September. We did talk about that. And of course, I'm going out of town elsewhere this weekend. So, but it's time for Mr. Magazine's favorite time, a 2 for today. The Confucius Joke of the Week. Are you ready, Mr. Magazine?
Oh, yeah.
So this one, let me set this up for you.
Mm-hmm.
Confucius is standing talking to his friend.
Ooh.
So Confucius has many friends because he's great personality.
Of course.
So friend says, Confucius, I heard your nephew drowned in a barrel of varnish. It must have been an awful way to go. Confucius said, no, he had a beautiful finish. Because varnish finishes stuff.
Yeah.
I did
get that one. Yeah.
He had a beautiful finish.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Good times. Join 20 past the hour at any of my Whatnot auctions, and you will get another great Confucius joke. See, Schmidt likes them. Beautiful finish. So customer issues, Mr. Magazine, you didn't send me any problems with customers this week.
Really?
Yeah.
Lucky me. Because sales were so low on Amazon.
I had a GI Combat 88. I screwed it up. I'm not going to tell you I didn't screw it up. Person emailed me. This listing has a Batman comic pictured. Is it the wrong photo? No. I'm listing it as GI Combat 88 and sending you a Batman. No, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Makes a lot of sense. Well, at least my employees aren't the only ones to do that.
No, it happens. It happens. Do you know what is allegedly, Mr. Magazine, the worst car in history? Cringe Fuchsius.
The Yugo.
You are correct.
Oh, not the Edsel? I was going to say
you are correct. The Yugo.
All right.
How many Yugos are there? And I guess they check to see what the registration numbers are on them. That's where they got the number from. Mm-hmm. How many Yugos are still being driven or are registered to be driven in Great Britain?
17.
You're very close. 7. There are 7 Yugos currently registered to be driven in Great Britain. That car actually is
they're pretty valuable now. They didn't make a lot of them, right? You don't see them ever.
It's like a $6,000 car now, which it's held its value better than most other cars.
It's like the Fiero. Yeah.
Well, you know what the problem was with the Yugo, Mr. Magazine? Well, there's many problems with it, but you could tell it was a problem when I don't know if you ever shopped for a Yugo or not.
No.
But you'd go to the car dealership and they would sell a brand new car as a parts car. That's when you know there's a problem. But boom. Come on, Confucius says nothing on me. Parts car?
Yeah,
parts car?
Stuff,
Come on, it's funny.
I wrote that right over here. Confucius did a real one, a real Yugo joke.
Well, that would have been amazing. Any increase in value for Pete Rose items from today's announcement has been reinstated by Major League Baseball. Probably be a short.
Some cards here and there, but I mean,
short term.
Yeah.
I would say, because he's in the news, and then it'll get another bump when he joins the Hall of Fame. I wonder if he ever signed anything Hall of Fame.
Oh, probably. Yeah, who knows? I bet there is.
With the Renault Le Car. Ooh.
That was a much better car, I feel.
Was the Le Car part? No, who did the K car? That was Chrysler, right?
The Aries K, yeah.
Mr. Magazine sold a Juicy Honey adult trading card. It went for over $250, I believe. Got sent in because it automatically got sent in because it's a trading card. And eBay said they could not authenticate it, but it had nothing whatsoever to do with the legitimacy of the card. It's just simply they can't authenticate it. They don't authenticate that card. So kind of goofy, Mr. Magazine had to send it to them for them to say, we don't know if it's real or not.
Crazy.
Now, obviously, it is real.
Yeah.
Pope stuff. Pope stuff was selling for me over on Etsy about 2 weeks ago. About 2 weeks ago, the Pope stuff was selling for me. Yep. One of your employees did ChatGPT search for a quick magazine. Use ChatGPT.
Am I supposed to know this?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
He came up to me and said it was pretty cool.
All right, good. Go ahead.
He did ChatGPT. I guess he was listing a quick magazine and he wanted to know, which are the small digest size ones. He wanted to know what it would be worth, what it was out there. He got 3 responses. eBay was the first one. Papergoy.com was the second one. And Etsy was the third one.
Does he know your Papergoy?
Yeah.
Told you? Okay.
Yeah, that's why he came up to me. He goes, I wanted to show you this. Of course he knows it. Right. I walk around muttering, I'm Papergoy.
You are a local celebrity.
I'm like Johnny Weissmuller when he was in the old folks' home yelling, I'm Tarzan around the place. I just keep saying, I'm Papergoy. I'm Papergoy.
Swinging from the rafters and chandeliers?
Well, I would try that, but your ceiling's a little bit high. There you go. Speaking of Chat GPT, you know how when you go on Google, you search on Google sometimes, right? And you know how the first thing at the top is whatever the name of their chat thing is, Gemini, I think they call it, or something like that. And it gives you a AI answer, and then you can look down further for other answers.
Okay.
I had a program from the 1880s for the opening of the Coalport Opera House.
Wow.
So I want to do a little bit of search about the Coalport Opera House. So I clicked in and searched on it. And the first thing that came up was Gemini. The Coalport Opera House refers to the Earlville Opera House Art Center in Earlville, New York. I said,
okay.
No. Given that this has Coalport, Pennsylvania advertisements in it, and lots of other Pennsylvania advertisements in it, and there is a Coalport, Pennsylvania, I'm going to bet the Coalport Opera House is probably in Coalport, Pennsylvania. Just saying.
Research is king.
But again, but what I was thinking about with that is how many of the younger generation that don't necessarily take that extra step would then list it as being the Earlville.
Yeah, no one would. Yeah.
And I had a situation the other day where I had a foreign language magazine, and I was using the Google Translate on my phone. And if I held it one way and got some of the characters, it said it was Chinese, and it was like modern movie. And if I held it a little bit differently and got a little different view of it, it said it was Japanese, and it was like trending movies or something other like that. So, and I said, this looks more like Japanese than Chinese. And then I found something there that said Japan. So then I went the Japanese translation.
Right.
But if I hadn't moved the camera around, I would have named it the wrong thing and said it was Chinese. So the technology is great, but you got to do those extra steps. Now, the question is, can you afford to pay your employees to do those extra steps, or would they be going with the Chinese one?
If it was something that's $50 or more, I always tell them to spend a little more time on it. It makes sense to do it right. And I have questions asked afterwards and stuff,
but would it, but they wouldn't know. I mean, to you and me and your employees, they probably don't read Japanese or Chinese.
Right.
A quick look, they look similar enough. It's not like I was holding the camera up there and it told me it was Spanish.
Right.
Well, I know that's not Spanish. I know it's Japanese, Chinese, or Korean. It's one of those three.
Yeah, I was saying the three possibilities are Asian or something like that. I don't know, because it's not gonna be the best listing anyways. So why put another 5 or 10 minutes into something, especially, I don't know what it's worth, but $20-$30, probably not worth it.
Yeah, so kind of interesting on that over there. So you got to be careful when you're out there. Mr. Magazine is saving his money. He's got a something coming up he's going to be spending some money on. I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but
no, you go ahead.
All right. So he's contacted Warner Brothers. Tumblr is bringing out a Batmobile that looks like the Christopher Nolan Batmobile. Did you see this, Mr. Magazine?
I heard about it, yeah.
There are only 10 of them being made, and they're $2.9 million, and they match what what was on the screen and everything. What do you feel about that? I mean, obviously,
is that what Joe Burrow bought? Because he bought one that's $3 million. It takes a year to build.
Oh, maybe he's on that list. So, what do you think, Mr. Magazine? I know you're saving your pennies for it. What do you think about? Are you buying it to drive, or are you going to get that for long-term investment potential?
Well, I'm not buying that because everyone knows I can't afford that. And if I could afford it, I probably would be single after buying it. But I'm a firm believer if you're going to buy a car, you should drive it and enjoy it. What's the point of just putting it in someone's bedroom and displaying it there like some people do?
So who's displaying a Batmobile in their bedroom?
No, they do stuff like that. These people in Dubai and stuff, they put in their living room upside down. They like have so much money, they don't care what they do. I see pictures. Instagram.
Are you going to be like Tracy Morgan driving a Bugatti around New York City?
No, I'm not a Bugatti fan.
No. What if Tracy said, come ride with me?
Then I would jump in.
And there was a Walmart truck behind you. Too soon. I want to thank PSEN Creations for coming on the show. A lot of fun last week. Next week, we have Vintage Sports Flips. Going to be a lot of fun. We actually did upgrade the StreamYard. That's why you don't see that StreamYard logo down there. Going to give it a try. A little bit of money. Mr. Magazine is going to be getting less money this month from the channel, but hey, what are you going to do?
Now I got to buy unleaded gas.
It's going to take you another couple of weeks to get that Batmobile. But should be a lot of fun. We're going to be multicasting next week, which is they're going to be running their show on their channel, our show on our channel, but we're going to be appearing on each other's show. So it should be kind of interesting. Never tried that before.
I feel like that's something fishermen do. I know I already talked to you about this, but like 2 guys casting would be multicasting. They're looking for fish, you know.
Confucius has nothing on you, my friend. In 3 weeks, Sturt and the boys from Finders Flippers Resell Podcast will be on as well. So, I'm trying to complete the 1974 Topps basketball set in PSA 8, correct, Mr. Magazine?
How much closer are you now?
I've got about 150 cards out of the 264.
Okay.
So we're not too bad.
How long did it take you to get to that point?
4 years.
And did you start with one card, or did you buy some from?
No, I bought one card.
Okay, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
I've been buying one card at a time.
It's an odd set to start with, though. What's the reason you started with that set?
It was the first basketball set I ever had when I was a kid.
Okay.
I used to get those cards traded to me by other kids. I'm getting down though where cards aren't available. Like, I need card number 7. It's not available. Card number 9 is not available. So I've got to do a little more searching to find a card. Now, obviously, at some point, I think that they will turn up on there. I'll be able to get them all.
You can't really grade any because you want it to come back in 8.
I wanted 8 or higher. I mean, if it comes back in 9 or 10, I'm not going to complain. But yeah.
I should look and see if I have any high grade ones just to mess around with you.
But I did buy one today, Mr. Magazine. Rudy Tomjanovich.
Okay.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I bought it from Dean's Cards.
Well, you probably paid a good penny.
He was $25 cheaper than the other person.
Wow.
Dean's Cards wanted 38. Somebody else had it on and wanted 63.
Jeez.
So when Dean's Cards is $25 cheaper than the competition.
Is there a true value to it? Like, what is it really worth in an 8? Is there any calculation or anything, or just whatever's out there is what you got to pay?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Your commons are $20 a piece. Tomjanovich is a Hall of Famer, so 35 seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Definitely
not
there is a guy out there. There's 2 of them on eBay. They're claiming low population. They want 250. 2 different people. One guy wants 250. One guy wants 2 1/4. I think I'm going to hold off on buying that till it's the last card I need.
Exactly.
I don't really want to pay 2 1/4 for a common.
Right.
On that over there. I did send a email over to the Etsy guy that you remember a couple of weeks ago that I overnighted. I've never heard anything back from him. All I did is I emailed him and said, lesson learned. I've not heard anything back from him. So looks like he took advantage of me, but what are you going to do? August 12th through 14th in Las Vegas, the eBay Open. Are you going, Mr. Magazine?
I would like to go if we can make it happen.
eBay has said, don't book non-refundable flights or hotel rooms as there's going to be very limited space.
Wow.
But they have yet to announce the sign up. They've yet to announce anything other than those dates. And I believe it's going to be at the Tropicana. Of course, it's the same time that I'm going to be over in Madison Bachville potentially. So
you're saying you want me to go on our behalf? I can do that. Send me the dates.
12th through 14th August.
I need a break.
Well, I would try to go, but we'd have to see. Again, I could change the hotels, but first I have to see if we could get tickets or not.
Gotcha.
But eBay appears not to understand that it's summertime and people are busy. So let's wait till August 10th. Oh, we're going to release the tickets now.
Crazy.
I'm up to 9 followers on TikTok. Woohoo! In Fuego. I'm sending the advertising cards out, noting how to get to the TikTok. So I'll be up to 10 sometime soon. Double digits.
Good stuff.
I finally got my Pennsylvania sales tax submitted for application. I was sick of banging my head against the wall. So I went on Reddit, and Reddit gave a phone number of somebody else. Goes, don't even try with the regular number. Give this number a call. This is the direct line. I gave it the call. The lady in 2 seconds. Oh, you don't click there. So what I was doing is I was trying to sign up for the online access, which is the wrong thing to do, but it makes it seem like what you want to do. You actually want to go down lower and register first. So I had to register. So I clicked down to, there you go. Thank you. There we are. We're in Fuego. So you have to go down and register. So the lady told me how to, you go here, you click there. And here's what you fill in as far as, use your social security number, do this, do that. So I still took 45 minutes to get the application in because it just is not easy to do. But the application's in, so we're going to be doing Allentown at some point. Kind of crazy. All right, Mr. Magazine, we are flying tonight, but we are going to talk about the main subject.
Okay.
Reselling can be lonely. Take it away, Mr. Magazine.
I don't know I don't think I'm lonely. Well, one, I don't do any listings. I enjoy the buying aspect of it, but even that's not lonely for me because Aaron helps me, with my buying process all over the country. When, if I were to list, I'm at the warehouse, all my employees are there. So I don't really think I'm ever lonely doing this. When I am lonely, when I'm alone and I'm on either the Stairmaster or if I'm relaxed watching a show, my mind's always thinking about the business. So that's when I'm lonely, though. And then maybe that's when I think of what needs to be done, what I got to do to pay my bills or to go to the next level. I don't know. But, as far as reselling and being lonely, I have a lot of people that are around me during the whole process, whether it's Aaron picking up a collection or my employees at the warehouse or my sister at the shop. So I don't know if I'm the right person, to answer that. But how about you? You are a one-man band, so that makes, right off the bat, you're lonely.
Right. And I've got a terrible personality, so nobody wants to be around me either. So
Mr. Know-It-All.
You fell off my save and I can't find you again. Oh, wow. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Enjoy the peace and quiet. Just reach out to me, Lewis. It's under my name. It's under my, actually, if you search on Paper Guy, it'll show up. So if you go over to TikTok and search on Paper Guy, it'll show up. Well, a lot of people talk about, being lonely because, they get up, they work in solitude and, they're listing all day or they're finding things and they're all by themselves doing it. But the part where I find being lonely, as far as that goes, is especially as you get more and more into the business and you get deeper and deeper into a niche, there we are. Thank you. There are fewer and fewer people that you can talk to because you are so deep into the niche. So I sit there and it's like, oh my gosh, I just got a Coalport 1881, it was December 31st, as a matter of fact, is when their opera house opened. I just got a program December 31st, 1881 for Coalport, Pennsylvania, the opera house opening. Who am I talking to about that? Who at the...
Probably a psychiatrist or a doctor.
Who at the flea market cares even? Because...
No, yeah, I mean, I don't even know. You'd have to be maybe in that city and some like 89-year-old guy would remember it or something like that.
My great-grandfather helped build that. Right, exactly. And so the deeper you get into the niches, the harder and harder it is to find anybody to talk to, especially when it's one thing if I get a really good comic deal. I can talk to a lot of people about a really good comic deal. I got that Fantastic Four #1 coverless. I can talk to people about it. People appreciate that. People understand that. I go to Allentown and like, oh my gosh, I just scored. And it is something so obscure. Mm-hmm. Who cares?
Right.
Who am I going to talk to about it? And that's where loneliness comes in because you've got these good deals, but you know that they're so far down the rabbit hole that there aren't a lot of people that can appreciate them. Right. So yeah, I understand you sit there all day and you list, but you do have other distractions if you want to. You can email people, you can talk to people, you can call somebody on the phone while you're listing, talk to somebody while you're finding things, whatever the case happens to be. Yeah. I always take Mrs. Paperguy with me when I'm out sourcing. So she's with me when I'm sourcing, so that's great as well. If I'm on a house call, I'm on a buying call, something other like that. There you go, Don. Yeah, you'll be fascinated by all that. That could be a problem. Yeah. I go to your place to buy stuff from a house call from you. I can talk with you. Yeah. What's going on? What's going on? So that takes care of it too. Don't understand collecting and reselling. And that's part of it as well. But especially when you get really, really deep down the rabbit hole. Imagine, even with sports cards, you've been around some of these people. You've seen some of these books that people have written about these.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the 1903 T212 with the white back.
A lifetime of like researching. It's crazy what they put into some of this stuff. Or this history of the Honus Wagner card. It's amazing. They write books on it.
Right, but
one card.
But at least that people could understand the Honus Wagner card. But I get into some, well, this is really rare because it's the Rochester edition of it with the bakery back on it. And you're going, okay, that's absolutely wonderful. You're not going to believe what I just found. And it's really deep down into a niche. Fewer and fewer people. Now, if I sat there and go to the flea market and I'm like, oh yeah, I flip everything. Oh, I flipped a coffee maker yesterday and a toaster today. And okay, oh, that's cool. Yeah. And people can talk to you about, oh, one time I got a gift and I sold it on eBay. But you're sitting there going, yeah, I got an 1862. I mean, this morning I listed a book from 1745, I believe it is.
Wow.
There aren't a lot of people I can talk to about that.
Yeah.
Just aren't, because they don't do that.
Well,
I do use.
Hold on. If he did $1 Million Peddlers, I'd be getting residuals off it. So he's not going to do that, obviously.
I think if you search off of Papergoy, I think it shows up as well. I think it shows up under both of them. I believe I did that search. For some reason or other, I think because it's linked to my Google account, I think my name comes up on it. But I believe if you do Papergoy, it also shows up. I believe I tried that. Yeah, you do get friends, but again, there aren't a lot of people. Ooh, see, now I can talk to him about that.
Yeah. I can talk to Triple J about my Mercedes. I tried selling it. I'll have to do a rambling story on that at some point. Very interesting.
But that's where I find the loneliness at is, when I go away to a show and I find some really, really good items, but they're items that you can't really explain to anybody else why they're good. And you're just kind of walking around looking, going, I'm the only person who saw the value in this. And this is wonderful because, and it's really cool because, but I'm going to sell it to the one other person in the world who sees the value in it.
Right.
So that can get a little bit lonely as far as that goes. So that really is. I mean, I do have a couple of people, Old Timer being one of them, that I can sit there and talk to about things, because he's been,
sure,
he's as big of a geek about stuff like that as I am, I guess, when you get down to it. We are flying today, my friends. Going to head on into the rambling story of the week. And we had 2 corn fuchsias. We're going to have 2 rambling stories. One's very, very short. So I went to Mr. Magazine's to do the laundromat. We'll call it Sunday night, Monday morning, 11:30, 11:45, whatever time I wandered into the laundromat. And there was an older black lady there doing her laundry. And, I don't think anything of it. She's doing her laundry, whatever. I say, hi, hey, how you doing? While we're talking to her. And I'm grabbing the broom and I'm sweeping up. And out of nowhere, she goes, yeah, I do have a knife. And she pulls up this long butcher knife.
Wow. Wow.
Like, huh?
She's telling you this at this hour of the night.
She goes, yeah, you just can't be too safe. There's a lot of homeless people around here. Okay. So if anybody runs up on me, I got the knife to protect myself. And I go, hey, I said, I don't blame you one bit. And I just cleaned up and went back. And I was thinking about it. I don't think she was afraid of me. I think it was so that I didn't see the knife and I get afraid.
Right.
And so, but it was funny. I got a knife and it's this big, long butcher knife. I'm like, oh, you do?
She has her own item of the week.
She does. She'll bring it by.
Jeez. Wow. That's great.
So in case you were wondering,
I've never had it happen to me. Luckily, it happened to you and not me. Don't you usually lock the door? I lock the door when I do that.
No, she was.
Oh, she was already in there.
She was in there. Yeah. No, I don't lock the door because I just clean.
Yeah.
I just clean. I leave the door open. So she was carrying a knife, and she did hold it up like this too. I have a knife. She holds it up like that, like from
Michael Myers
or Psycho. Exactly. Yeah. So I went to Myrtle Beach a while ago, Mr. Magazine.
I remember you told me about the shot glass you bought me.
Indeed, I did. And so while I was there, yeah, there you go.
It would be funny talking and all of a sudden, duck.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is true. She's not taking anything from anybody.
Right.
You're absolutely right about that. So I went down to Myrtle Beach, and when I was checking in, the guy was nice. He was from a Middle Eastern country, and I can't remember which one, but we talked for 10 minutes, not because I wanted to talk to him for 10 minutes, but because the lady that was working the counter had a phone call, and he just came in and just punched in and started working. And so he was getting me in the room, and he took my credit card, need your credit card for incidentals, yada, 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 all that kind of stuff. No problem. Why is this credit card not going through? I don't know what's going on. This, that. Yeah, no problem. So, nice guy, whatever. Then I get my statement, and they charged me for the room, even though I had paid for the room through Expedia.
Oh, geez.
So now I'm okay. I don't want to double pay for that room. It was a lovely room, but it's not worth twice the price.
No, right.
So then I have to please hit the like button. So then I have to go and dispute it. So you go online. You know that there is no place online when you dispute a charge, at least using Capital One, I believe I have, where you can put an explanation as to why you're disputing.
Oh, really?
You just check the boxes.
Yeah.
So I think I said unauthorized charge or something other like that is what I pushed.
Quick question.
Go ahead.
So the both charges are off the same credit card?
Yeah, but one was 1 month, one was the prior month.
Okay, and the different names too.
Right, because the one is hotels.com.
No? Different fees, same amounts or no?
Because
it makes it easier. If it's the same credit card, the same amount, I think it's a lot easier to prove that then. But you can't say you were double charged.
You couldn't say that. Well, it did say I paid this already, but then you got to show proof of the other payment. I'm like, I'm not digging all this stuff out. So I clicked something like unauthorized charge or something like that. They've got like one more day. They've yet to answer it. So it's been like 3 weeks. They've yet to answer the charge. So I think it's going to be in my favor.
Yeah.
I think it'll be in my favor because they haven't answered it. So I think that they do realize that they double charge.
Right.
But my other, very good, Linda.
But the hotel can't say and see that you already paid it and cancel it.
That's my question was, don't they
be able to? Yeah, they should.
But don't they want to do that? Because if you have too many chargebacks, doesn't that look bad for your record?
Right, but also it's good business where you solved it right then and there. Now you got to jump through hoops. Now you may not use that online site. You may not use that hotel now, so.
Yeah. So I will let you know how all that works out. Again, I think he was just having problems trying to put the incidental through. So he put the whole amount through for whatever reason. Jeez. But I know that I paid for it before already as well. So yeah, I clicked unauthorized charge and haven't heard anything back from them yet. We do a chargebacks in my work. Some vendors take the full time frame to answer. It's obnoxious.
Well, remember the guy from Dubai from the website? He spent like $700-800. Then I get it. He's disputing the charge. I have proof that we shipped items to him, but I don't have proof that he wanted the items. So, there's no like correspondence or anything like that other than the order, and I think it was his name. He was from Dubai. So I think it might have been his son. Either which way, same last name, different first name. And the lady from the credit card company said, basically, if you dispute this and lose, you're gonna lose $1,500 extra for wasting everyone's time. And she said, most of the time you're gonna lose. I'm like, I want to eat 700 instead of eating 2,200.
Right.
So you live and learn, I guess. And luckily, it's the only. He tried buying from me again, and I sent him his money back. I refunded him. I said, give me my money from the first deal if you want to buy the second deal. And never heard from him again.
Wow,
crazy,
absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, there you go. You are very lucky, Linda. Very, very lucky. All right, everybody, short show tonight. I'll be going out of town, be putting up some haul videos at some point as well. Again, next week, Vintage Sports Flips. Anything going on with you in the whatnot world or anything you're promoting?
I got Frank's my new guy doing 45s on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, usually, I think around 10 to 2. He's always plugging your name as well. I don't know if you got anyone extra.
I do get little things, notifications that I was shouted out somehow or other.
Huh? Yeah, he does it a lot.
Yep.
The other kid I hired, he didn't have a lot of success. We tried a few things, but we'll get him back into something at some point. And like I said, probably a month from now, I'm going to start doing toys. I'll have some of my employees help me with it for starters, and I'll take over at some point.
I've heard that you're having some luck a little bit on whatnot with a little different way of doing records. I've heard.
So records are kind of slowing down the last couple of weeks. And
that's how I do that, I heard.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if it was something just because it was the time people, were busy with the holidays or whatever. But my niece, Alicia, who does the whatnot records, 3 to 5 during the week, she was, why don't we try doing genres? Because people were actually asking for country, and I never pull country out. I never pull classical out. Especially classical usually sells for good money on Amazon, but very slow selling. So I had set up this area in a shelving units where I labeled like country, rap, rock, singles, whatever, and started piling them up. And she did her first one yesterday, country. And normally she was doing 100 to 150, just like winging a mixed bag of records for 2 hours. That was a bad, she was doing 3, now she's doing like 150. So she did country and almost $350 yesterday. Then she did classical and jazz today. Another 350. So It might be something where I'm going to continue sorting them. And it's good for me too, because a lot of stuff, like I know we're not going to sell Lawrence Welk. I know certain ones I know we're probably not going to sell. So I'll either set it aside and put it in a box and store it, or if it's something like that that's in rough shape, I'm just throwing it out because we need the room anyways.
Au contraire, mon frère. What are my Etsy sales? was actually a book that I tried to sell for $3 over on Whatnot, and it went for $16 over on Etsy.
Wow, Lawrence Welk.
Lawrence Welk.
Wow.
And a 1 and a 2. Indeed.
And thank you. Have a nice night.
And so a little tip to you, if you're selling on Etsy, Lawrence Welk will sell on Etsy.
Wow.
Now you know that.
Well,
Mr. Magazine is...
I'll give you a bunch of records of his, and then you can sell them on Etsy and see what happens. If it's just the books or his records too. Maybe we have big fans.
Everybody's a big fan of his. And a 1 and a 2. We'll play ourselves out over here. All right, everybody. We will see you next show.
Take care. Bye-bye.
And a 1 and a 2 and a 1.